Hi there, Leo. Welcome to your May 2017 Astro Update. It's Raina here. This reading is for Leo Sun and Leo Rising. And so what's on tap for Leo when it comes to the month of May? Well, as is usually the case, Leo, we have little clusters of energy. And these, when planets are collecting in one house, this can kind of give us a hint about some of the particular areas that will be featured in a particular period of time. For you, we're looking at the 9th and 10th houses because, well, let me see. Am I correct about that? Okay, yeah, your 9th house is Aries. And the 9th house is the house of higher education, travel, foreign travel particularly, the house of your spiritual beliefs or your personal, your life philosophy. It's the house of, did I say higher learning? So that's what that represents. Anything that makes you feel expansive. Publishing, so expand, bringing your ideas to the masses with the written word. Now, you have Mercury turning direct in this house on May 3rd. And then going into your 10th house on May 16th in the sign of Taurus. Now, when Mercury retrograded, it started in that 10th house and went back to the 9th. Now it's direct on May 3rd, and things will start to get moving. So for some of you, you might have had a slowdown with any kind of career pursuits. Perhaps if you were between jobs, you were interviewing, and then it was like just crickets. You didn't hear anything back, and you're like, okay, I guess I didn't get the job. And then you find out that you do. And the chances will be greater as the month progresses because Mercury will still be in its shadow. I believe it's until the 21st, but definitely as the month progresses, things should start to move again if you felt that they had stalled. But that 10th house is definitely featured for the first 3 months, for the first 3 weeks with Taurus in this house. And the sun is your ruler. So it's spotlighting your career. The focus is going to be on your career for the first few weeks. And because you have this Mercury going direct and eventually going into this house, you're going to start to be communicating with people that are higher ups and just in your career of choice in general. And the other thing that I like for you is that you have some planets in the 11th house. The sun will be going into the 11th house on the 20th in the sign of Gemini. Mars will be there all month. And the 11th house is the house of humanitarianism. It's the house of the internet. It's the house of, touching base with large groups of people as opposed to individuals. It's the house of, brotherhood, the house of just any kind of group, any kind of friendship that you have. And with Mars there can be a lot of, an uptick in activity. So maybe you have a particular project that you're working on with other people that involves a group, either a political organization, just any kind of thing that is supposed to be helping other people. But it could be involving a friendship, and there might even be conflict with a friend because Mars sometimes can indicate conflict. And but it doesn't have to, and it can actually be a time when you're being more social. And because Mars indicates activity. So you may be like a social butterfly at this time, all month long, actually. And Venus, which, deals with not only love, but also money issues, is going to be in your ninth house all month in Aries. Venus retrograded in this house back in early March. And then it actually went into your eighth house, and now it's back in your ninth house for its second trip through that ninth house. Now, the ninth house can indicate foreign travel, higher education, issues surrounding, like I said before earlier, your philosophical framework. So just like Mercury being in that house for the first couple of weeks, you have Venus in this house all month. So if you met somebody on vacation that you fell in love with, you might be dealing with them again. Maybe there was some kind of a falling out, and now you're dealing with them again. That could be some kind of a romance. Could be with money. Maybe you benefit from foreigners, from foreign locations. One thing I wanted to say too about the 11th house is that it's also hopes and wishes. So with Mars in this house, you may be deciding, especially if you've done a lot of soul searching in the last few weeks, Leo, that you are going to go for it full throttle in terms of the dreams that you have in your life. And you're not going to allow anyone or anything to stop you. And this could come about for many different reasons, but you may feel like you have put yourself on the back burner way too long, and now you're going to pursue your dreams with full abandon. And if that's the case, I hope I said abandon. I felt like I said abandoned. But, that can really help you because Mars pushes you, and you're actually going to have a new moon in this house on May 25th in Gemini. So definitely set your intentions at the end of the month around that time about what kind of goals you have that are far-ranging. Dream big. Speaking of the new moon, I wanted to talk about the full moon. Your full moon is happening in Scorpio on the 10th of May in the fourth house of home and family. Now, in this house, if you were trying to sell a house, this might be the time when it closes, when you're able to let go. You may let go of something related to your past that you've held on. And as a fixed sign, you may tend to hold on to things quite a long time. It can also bring your family of origin to your awareness. Maybe there's something that needed to come out. Scorpio is the sign of deeply buried secrets. There's a lot of secrets associated with Scorpio. And with the full moon, that in itself can bring out secrets and things that have been hidden. So it's basically a healing from your past or about your past that can come about at this time. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about is that there's going to be an auspicious trine that occurs on May 12th and 13th. And this is going to be in Mars in Gemini trining Jupiter in Libra. So it involves your 3rd and 11th houses. It could have something to do with the internet because both of these houses connect with that. And so that could be a good time to launch anything internet-based if you've been holding off because Mercury has been retrograde. Definitely you might want to think about this period of time. The other thing is that all year you've been experiencing this expansion in the area of what the 3rd house represents, which is your siblings, your local area, as well as communication of all forms and also higher learning. And by the way, Venus in Aries in the ninth house of higher learning. When I should just back up because I'm confusing things. The third house is the house of teaching and public speaking. It can be getting training, but the ninth house, where your Venus is transiting right now, is more of the university kind of courses, which you receive degrees. I believe the third house is more like training for certificates. So if if you're trying to just get a particular certificate, which might not even require going to college or anything like that, that might be the third house. But the third house can indicate any kind of communication that you engage in can be very beneficial and expansive for you in terms of everything, maybe in terms of your career. So launching a website can definitely fall into this category, but also public speaking. And as a Leo, you are capable of really dramatizing if you have some kind of a message that you're trying to give to people. And by the way, with Venus in the ninth house, you could even be doing the kind of thing that Tony Robbins does, where it is, what do they call that? Positive thinking, but that's just kind of like a generic term. I'm thinking of something more specific or more modern term. Self-improvement? Nah, that sounds so blah. I can't really think of maybe self-actualization, something along those lines. But you would be, doing that very well at this time, because ninth house deals with matters like that, positive thinking, the law of attraction, anything along those lines. So yeah, looks really good, Leo. I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have an amazing May. Bye.